This is Jackie Schwab, President and owner of Honest Components. Counterfeit mitigation is crucial when sourcing obsolete electronic components. Counterfeit electronic components can create hazards if incorporated into critical systems such as aircraft, life support, and industrial applications. It can also cost CMs hundreds of thousands of dollars in redesigning and redeveloping. This is why Honest Components sends every order to an independent 17025 Certified Test Lab. I'm here with Dan Tang, President and owner of Global ETS. Hi, Dan.
Hi,
thanks
Jackie.
so much for allowing us to see what Global ETS is all about. Some suppliers have in-house test labs. Do you find that those test labs are suitable to detect counterfeits?
As a supplier, it's always good to have some sort of incoming inspection, but as far as being able to say in their laboratory, it's more a selling method. There's a huge conflict of interest in testing your own product versus and sell the product as well, and that's why it gets focused. We're strictly an independent laboratory. We don't buy and sell product. As I mentioned before, the 17025 certification for laboratory is very important because that is a process, a standard, where a third-party register come in and actually verify each process that we do correctly based on the industrial standard or any standard that a customer require.
Tell us a little bit about Global ETS.
Absolutely. Global ETS is an independent laboratory. We provide authentication testing services throughout the world. We have 3 locations, headquarters here in Florida. This is a 12,000 square feet building. We have facility in mainland China as well. And then a recent open facility in Penang, Malaysia. That's 20,000 square feet. So we pretty much service for all industry, all automation, aviation, as well as a lot of independent distributors as well. So we specialize in component testing. We do a lot of value-added service, including tinning, as well as some tape reeling as well. We actually collaborate with University of South Florida and USF. The program's been working for 5 years. Majority of our engineer, master degree engineer, come from USF, as well as a lot of internship. Through our program, we actually developed 2 patents. One is in the artificial intelligence testing system, and then the other one also using artificial intelligence on the vision system that will come out next year. So our testing system will be finished, finalized, will be coming out this year in December time.
Great. I know there's a difference between AS9120 versus AS6081 and also 17025. Can you tell me a little bit about the difference?
Absolutely, yeah. So we're in a 17025 certified laboratory as well as AS9100 certified. The 17025 is a worldwide recognition certification that really focuses on laboratory only. As an independent laboratory, this cert is not only verify the quality system, but each individual testing process is being verified and approved by ANAP.
And is that the largest, the highest certification that you can achieve?
For a laboratory, yes, that is. It's an aerospace standard, as well as our AS9100, which is also an aerospace standard. So for us here, we're qualified to do all aerospace testing, including military. We also actually are DLA approval laboratory as well.
Great. I know the testing that you do here can include visual testing, marking permanency, functional electrical, decapsulation, solderability. I do have a question. Explain what the difference is between pin correlation versus functional electrical testing.
Absolutely. Pin correlation is part of electrical testing, but it is a test where only verify the device pin out, checking for open and shorts. This is the test that is least you can do when there's no other options. At Global ETS, we prefer to do functional testing as well as DC characteristic because pin correlation can pass, but the device can fail functionality. As well as doing DC characteristic, device can pass DC characteristic, but also can fail functional. So functional testing is actually quite important as part of the process of electrical testing.
And is it true, and maybe you can help me understand, functional electrical testing, they test the extreme temperatures, whereby pin correlation would not. Is that something that you can explain?
Yeah, so functional testing can test based on ambient temperature as well, depending on the rated component rated temperature. It can be also tested rated temperature. Again, pin correlation is most very basic test. All it does is really checking for open and shorts.
Let's talk about marking permanency, the testing, the acetone test.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that and why that's so important.
Well, marking permanency is designed way back then really to look for a product that is have ink mark, and that ink mark should not be wiped off at a certain mixture, alcohol or acetone. But the counterfeit is actually going beyond that as well. Most of the product now are laser mark. So mark permanency does not really apply to it because you cannot remove laser mark using acetone or things like that. So there's marking, resurfacing, remarking testing that we perform now, which is using a Dynasoft solution where you heat it up to 105 degrees Celsius at 45 minutes. Anytime the device with black top, it will remove, and you can actually see the potential sanding mark or the coating removed off the chip. So it's kind of determined. However, the solvent testing is good, but 95% of the product can be blacktopping can be detected by detailed visual inspection with high definition cameras.
Okay. And we understand, I know that the U.S. government has reported that between 15 to 20% of the electronic components that they procure have been proven to be counterfeit. Between the 3 labs in the U.S., China, and Malaysia, what percentage have you found to be refurbished or counterfeit?
It actually continued to, it's steady. Based on our data for the last 9 years that we gather, China, when we started, runs approximately 65% in China. But the number has dropped dramatically. At the moment, we average about 30% in China for a product that is substandard, refurbished, remarked, that failed our testing. In the USA, we currently run at about 15% counterfeit that we observe. This number is pretty steady. And there's a reason why the number has actually dropped quite a bit in the last number of years is that the supplier, the buyer are more aware. They know what question to ask. They understand more of what, what type of product they're looking at. Better knowledge as well. And also the supplier themselves don't want to waste money and sending product that's bad. Now, there's still old bad suppliers out there, and that's where becoming the vetting aspect, like an example like your company, go through a vast vetting process to approve a supplier. So that's really the number one step. That's the first step, and that's very critical to actually get good product.
Dan, Honest Components prides itself by ensuring that our customers receive only authentic parts that have been tested by an independent 17025 lab such as Global ETS. I wanted to thank you so much for firsthand look at what you do, and thanks for all your support.
You're very welcome, and glad to have the opportunity to show you what we can do here. And I think with our relationship, is definitely, it's a win-win combination.
Wonderful. Thanks again.
You're welcome.